वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। அறியாதீதரசீவர தகவாரிசகுகையில் அறிவாய் ரமி பரமாத்துமன் அருணாச்சல ரமணன் பரிவாளுளம் முருகானல பரநாந்திடு குகையால் அறிவாம் விழித்திரவாய் நிசம் அறிவாய் அது வெளியாம் அண்ணாமலையாய் அடியேனை ஆண்ட அன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாய் எனக்கோ குறையுண்டோ குறையும் குணமும் நீ அல்லால் என்னேன் இவற்றை என்னுயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையிற் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையிற் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We shall chant from the verse number 8. I will chant, you repeat after. तदेव निष्कलं ब्रह्मा निर्विकल्पं निरञ्जनं तद्ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते ध्रुवम् निर्विकल्पम् अनन्तं च हेतु दृष्टान्तवर्जितम् अप्रमेयम् अनादिं च यज्ञात्वा मुच्यते बुधः न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न वै मुक्तः इत्येषा परमार्थता। एक एवात्मा मन्तव्यः जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्तिषु स्थानत्रयव्यतीतस्य पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। एक एव हि भूतात्मा भूते भूते व्यवस्थितः एकदा बहुधा Jalasambravat.
Drishyate Jalasambravat.
Yesterday we saw this Brahma Tattva is nir-avayavam, meaning it is partless or it is limbless, and nirvikalpam, it is beyond thoughts or beyond differences, and it is niranjanam, it is taintless, it is pure, and that Brahma Tattvam is Atma the Self. Tat Brahma ahamiti jnatva. So one has to realize this Brahma Tattvam not as a third person, as the very first person, or even the essence of the very first person, meaning the very self, the core of the personality. Only when one realizes this as oneself, then he goes beyond birth and death. He attains to that supreme abode. That's what we have seen. And further explaining this Atma Tattvam or this Brahma Tattvam, here Rishi says in the verse 11, Eka eva Atma mantavya. You have to know this self as only one in and through all the three states of experiences. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. So as we saw yesterday, in the waking state, the waker and the waking world comes together. And then it goes. Then comes the dreamer and the dream world. And it goes. And in the deep sleep, there is no experience. But still, the ego or the deep sleeper is in a very unmanifest form. But in and through all these experiences, this Atma, the Self, remains as a Sakshi, as a witness of all these worlds of experiences. So that is Sakshi, that is Atma, the Self. Even in the deep sleep state, Atma is. Yesterday we saw about the Pratyabhijna. Otherwise, the memory is not possible if the Atma Self is not there. The memory of our deep sleep. I slept well, but I was not knowing anything, but I slept well. This memory is possible because Atma the Self was there to register the absence of all the things. So that when you get up, you can remember, yes, there was nothing, I was not knowing anything, but I slept well. So even in the deep sleep state, the Atma the Self is there. But somehow it is clouded by some ignorance or whatever, the cloud of ignorance, as if there is nothing. In fact, this Atma, the Self, is a substratum in which all these three states of experiences comes and goes. They come and go, and this Atma, the Self, remains unaffected by all these experiences. Therefore, it is said it is beyond. Why it is said beyond? Because nothing affects this substratum, this self. Therefore, from the standpoint of the self, as if there are no experiences, therefore it is beyond these three states of experience. One who realizes this Turiya Avastha or Turiya Tita, it is called. See, Turiya means fourth. Literally in Sanskrit, Turiya means fourth. There are three states of experience, and then they say fourth. But when you go to the fourth, when you abide there, there are no three states. There are no three. So why you call it as fourth? So you say Turiyatita. It is beyond the fourth even. In Ulladanartha Anubandham, Bhagavan states it very clearly. That is why if you read Ulladanartha and Anubandham, there's 80 verses, it clarifies so many very subtle aspects of Vedanta Shastra or Adhyatma Sadhana. So one who realizes this and abides there as the Turiya or the Turiyatita, Punarjanmana Vidyate, he is not born again into this world. Why he is not born again? Because he is no more. He is no more to be born again Or in that experience of the Purnata, there are no desires. When there are no desires, no rebirth, no coming or no going. When the Ahankara is destroyed, when there is nobody to leave this body, he say, na, the Jiva has left. And he will be taking births in some other womb. This Jiva is no more to leave. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, for the Jivan Mukta, everything abides or everything gets absorbed in the heart. Already he is dead. How can he ever die? So there is no going or coming. See, that is why when people say, we have witnessed a Jyoti, a light, when Bhagavan was in his deathbed, when he left his body, they observed a light going somewhere and then disappearing in Arunachal. People said, oh, Bhagavan died, or Bhagavan's Atma has become one with Arunachal. These are most wonderful to discuss, but it is not very scientific, because Bhagavan himself has said, everything is absorbed in the heart, no going or no coming. But the scientific world says they observed a comet passing through that at that point of time. Maybe a comet or maybe something mysterious, we don't know. But it cannot be attributed to the passing of the Mahatma, because he himself has said that no going or coming. It is just getting absorbed in the heart. And already he is dead and gone. Meaning what? Already he is absorbed. There is no question of at that time getting absorbed. So therefore, it's very mysterious. We don't know. How do we know? But scientifically, precisely if you think, the subtle body is gone and everything is gone. There is nobody to go or come back. So punarjanma na vidyate. Similarly, eka eva hi bhutatma bhute bhute vyavastita. And this self is one and one only in all beings. Bhute bhute. Bhuta means not bhuta pichacham, no. Bhuta means living beings. In Sanskrit, bhuta means we are all bhutas. Bhute bhute means in all the living beings. The self is the same. It is one only, ekada. Bahuda cha eva drishyate. But it is seen as many. Self is one only, but it is seen as many jivas. And everybody says, I. So it appears as if there are so many jivas. But actually speaking, the self which is seated in everybody's heart is one and the same. How? An example is given. Jala Chandravati. The moon that is reflected in the water surface. The water bodies may be different. A lake, or a river, or an ocean, or a well, or a pot. So the moon which is reflected appears to be so many in these water bodies. Actually speaking, the moon is only one. According to the water bodies, whether it is pure, the water is pure or shaky, the reflection may appear to be dull or shaky. But it has nothing to do with the original moon. Original moon is shining always. Similarly, these jivas may undergo different experiences because of their vasanas, their mind and intellect equipment. But it has got nothing to do with actual self. The self is always shining, just a witness. It's not bound by anything. It's not affected by anything. So this is the Vedanta. Jnana. This self means I am, me, this self is not affected by anything. And when I realize that self, the experience is, this self is the self of all. Sarva Bhutatma. This Atma is Sarva Bhutatma. That is what is the experience. Therefore, we should not get confounded by looking at the Upadhis. Upadhis may be different, but the thing which is contained in the Upadhi is one and the same. Even Ishvara has got a different Upadhi. Jiva actually has got the body mind as his Upadhi. He is ruled by his own nature. But Ishvara, his upadhi is Maya, but he cannot be ruled over. He rules with the help of Maya. That is the difference. But if you remove the upadhis, Ishvara and the Jiva is one and the same. So even among Ishvara and Jiva, there is no Veda. Among Jivas also no Veda. Even Jiva and Ishvara also there is no Veda. So there is no Veda whatsoever. Meganana asti kinchana. That is only the self, which is our own self, true self. Till here, yesterday we have seen. Now moving on. Another famous example in Vedanta Shastra. See, that way, this Amirthabindu Upanishad covers everything, I suppose. Here it is said, verse 13. Ghata samvritam niyamane ghate yata ghato niyetanakashaha tatha jivo nabhopamaha ghata samvritam niyamane ghate yata ghato niyetanakashaha tatha jivo nabhopamaha. See, this is very subtle concept to understand actually. Since we have heard about this again and again, we somehow feel it is very easy. This we have heard, but this is very subtle actually. Ghata samvritam akasham, meaning that akasham which is covered by the pot. Space is covered by the pot, meaning a pot is there in the space. Right? Ordinary pot, mud pot, let us say, is there in the space. Here it is said the space is as if enveloped by the pot. Niyamane ghate yata. Just as, yata means just as, niyamane ghate. When the pot is moved from one place to another place, niyamane means moved from one place to another place, ghato niyeta na akashaha. The pot is moved, not the space. What is this, Swamiji? So why are you talking about this now? Suddenly from the sublime to the ridiculous. You've been talking about the self, Atma and all. Now you're talking about a pot. Tata jivo nabopamaha. Similarly, the jiva and the space, this comparison. What is the meaning of this mantra? So the meaning is, when we look at a pot, we say that space which is contained inside the pot is pot space, we call generally. And then we say the total space, universal space. And then we imagine when the pot is broken, the individual pot space has become one with the universal space. This is what we normally think. But this is not the right thinking actually. Because whenever the pot is there in the space, first of all, it was not divided into the pot space and the universal space. Because space can never be divided. Space can never be conditioned by anything. See, one thing we should understand. From the self, because of the Maya, first came the Akasha. It is said in Taittiriya Upanishad, in other Upanishad also. Akasha, Akasha Sambhuta, Akashad Vayuhu, Vayor Agnihi, Agner Apaha, then Prithvi. You understand? So, Akasha is the subtlest because it has got only one quality, that is sound. And then from that emerges the air. It has got two qualities, so it has become grosser. What are the two qualities? The sound and the touch. These are the two qualities. Like that Agni, it is still grosser because it has got three qualities: sound, touch, and the form. Agni means it has got another quality called as form. And then water. Water means in addition to all these three, it has got taste also. And then the Prithvi, in addition to all the four, it has got Gandha, the smell also. So, the Akasha is the subtlest, and then from there it comes a little bit grosser and grosser and grosser. The Prithvi is the grossest. The mud pot is made of what? Mud. Means Prithvi, let us say, in a very rough way. So, the grosser cannot bind or limit or condition the subtler. This is the idea. So the gross thing can never condition the subtler thing. So therefore, this pot in the first place has not divided the space into two as the pot space and the universal space. The pot is in space. That's it. It is a very important example because we think because of this gross body, the boundary, we say Jiva is within and the world or the consciousness is expressing through the universe is another thing. We say, no, first of all, there is nothing called a Jivatma and Paramatma because the Brahman is undivided. But from the Vyavaharic sense, we say because of seeing the gross body, the Atma, the Jivatma is within, and then the Paramatma means what? It is the total consciousness, the consciousness expressing the totality. That's what we say. In fact, the Atma, the self, can never be divided. Nishkalaha, that's what we see. We have seen. Can never be divided, can never be conditioned. So when the pot is moved, pot space doesn't move because there is nothing called as pot space. In the space, pot is moving, that's it. So when this body moves also, it is not the Jiva moving or anything. In the Atma, the self, all the movements or whatever is happening, and nothing can condition this self. This is what we have to understand. Tata Jivaha, meaning what? Like the pot space is the Jiva. Truly speaking, there was never ever a pot space created. It is out of our ignorance only we say pot space and the universal space. It was just the space in which the pot moves. Similarly, there is only the self in which all these body minds move about and transact business. And this movement and these vyavahar can never ever condition the self or limit the self or affect the self. It's a very subtle concept actually. In fact, Akasha, the element called as space itself is very subtle to understand. We think we have understood, but it is not. It's very, very subtle to understand. But this much you understand. The grosser cannot condition the subtler. So therefore, pot can never condition the space. Similarly, the self is the subtlest. It can never be conditioned by the body not the mind. When the body and mind moves in the self, it's not that self is affected or self is moving. It is just. Yesterday we saw that novice saying the flag is fluttering. Senior monk saying what? No, your mind is fluttering. But the master passes that way and he says, no, not even the mind is fluttering. Just your tongue is fluttering. Nothing is happening actually. So therefore, tata jivo navopamaha. Navaha upamaha. Upamaha means that is a comparison. So therefore, this self can never be conditioned by anything. Like space, it accommodates everything, but it is not conditioned by anything. See, Akasha is called Akasha because it gives avakasha to everything. Avakasha means it can accommodate everything. Everything. But it is not conditioned by anything. Similarly, the self or the Atma, the self, is substratum. It accommodates everything, but it's not conditioned by anything. If this is said, then comes a very natural question. Maybe the space itself is Atma? You say like space. And space also is infinite. It cannot be divided. It cannot be conditioned by any element. So you see, Atma also is everywhere, or it is all pervasive, all pervading. And it cannot be conditioned by anything. So can we call Akasha itself as Atma? So that doubt is clarified in the next mantra actually. It is not so. See, without this Sambandha Bhashya, without this connecting thought, if you read the next mantra, you will not understand why this mantra has been given. So that is why we have to go back to the Acharya's commentary and all. They beautifully connect the thoughts. Shankara is expert in that. Without Shankara Bhashya, if you read, sometimes you get crazy mad. What is this happening here? But he gives a beautiful missing link. He connects it. So that is why he is a great master. So here it is. Ghatavad vividhakaram vidhyamanam punah punaha tadbhagnam na cha jhanati sajanati cha nityashaha Ghatavad vividhakaram vidhyamanam punah punaha tadbhagnam na cha jhanati sajanati cha nityashaha Ghatavad, like the pot, vividha akaram. There are so many forms. There are so many objects now. There are so many forms. Vidyamanam punah punaha is broken again and again in this world or in the space. Is it not so? You drop a glass tumbler or whatever, it is broken. You drop the saucer, it is broken. So many things are broken. Is it not so? Tat bhagnam nacha janati. The space doesn't know that something is broken. How do you know so many? Maybe the space may know it. No, space doesn't know. That is what the Rishi says. Tat bhagnam nacha janati. The space doesn't know that something is broken. Whereas sa janati, he knows when something is broken, something happens, he knows. Meaning what? He is a conscious principle, illumining everything. He is the all-knower. That's what said, no? All-knower. So that intelligence aspect is brought here. The space or all the other elements, they don't have any intelligence of their own. This way they call it Jadam, inert. But this Atma, the self, or even the Jiva, is intelligent. He knows. He is aware of what's happening. Is that not so? As a Jiva, I am aware. And the essence of Jiva is a self which illumines everything. So therefore, you cannot say just like that, space itself, for a comparison, for an example, it is given like space. Navo upamaha, like space it is given, but it is not space. If you think it is space, then it means there is a lot of space inside, between your ears. Meaning what? It is not space. Further, Guruji in his commentary, he beautifully explains, space is a created element, whereas Atma, the self, is not created. Many objects other than space also exist in space. In space, many objects other than the space exist. But in Atma, the self, though it is like space, there is nothing other than that. It is one without a second. See? If you say the grosser space, though it accommodates everything, it is not conditioned by anything, but still, other than the space, there are so many other objects. But with respect to the self, it is also not conditioned by anything, it is also infinite. More than being conscious, not only that, there are nothing other than, there is nothing other than this self. So therefore, never ever you can compare or can equate the space to be the self. And not only that, he says space is seen or understood, known. But Atma, the self, is the real knower, or he is the very self. So therefore, though it is said like space, it is not space. And space is mind created. Why? In the deep sleep, there is no concept of space. Only when the mind arises in the waking state, then we say space and time and all. Space, time, causation, everything. But in the deep sleep, there is no concept of space and time. Therefore, the space itself is mind created. Whereas Atma, the self, is a resting place for the mind, or the essence of the mind. Therefore, this Atma, the self, can never be confused with the space, cross space. Though it is the subtlest, still comparing to the Atma, it is gross only. So in this verse, in the first 13th verse, it is said what? The space can never be conditioned. There is nothing called a space, pot space or the universal space. Just that space in which the pot moves. Similarly, there is self in which everything happens. It is not conditioned by anything. Then Swamiji, they say moksha means when the body is broken, when you're dead and gone, this Jivatma goes and then joins or merges with the Paramatma. What about that? It's all a nice story to hear. It's not that Jivatma is just flying up to the Brahmaloka and then it attends the satsang there also along with Brahma and here nothing Kanadana. It's not that. It is not that. First of all, the realization is that the space was never broken into pot space or universal space. The realization is, first of all, the self has never been broken into Jivatma and Paramatma. There is only Atma. This realization is Advaita Anubhuti. See, some people misunderstand. Is Jiva getting united with Atma, the self, or the Paramatma? See, this is all Dvaitik, not even, we can say Dvaitik or Vishishta Advaita concepts. But even Dvaita, they don't agree. Because he will not completely get united. A trace of Ahankara, the Anava Malam is there still. That's what they say in Shaiva Siddhanta. You can never be one. But here, the idea, you know what? It is something else. Please try to understand. Advaita is something else. It is nowhere what we think. Dvaita and Advaita is very normal, very common sense. But this is something else. This says the very idea that I have become the Jiva and there is something called as Ishvara who is controlling everything and there is this world. All this is nonsense. First of all, the Brahman has never ever become anything. For some mysterious reason, we confuse ourselves and we imagine so many things. That is why it is in Paramatataha, there is no dissolution, there is no creation. There is no sadhaka. There is no mukshu or moksha. First of all, this space was never divided ever into pot space and the universal space. Then only the question of this pot space going and merging and all occurs. So this self was never ever have become Jiva or Parameshwara or anything. This self was always the self. The ghost has never appeared. When we are ignorant, because of our ignorance, we see a ghost. It doesn't mean that ghost has appeared from the post. And when you got the knowledge, ghost disappeared into the post. Arey Baba, ghost was only in your mind. Ghost never appeared. But I saw it. You may see it. You see so many things. You see the sunrise. Is the sunrise happening? Yes, every day sunrise is no. Panchangam the sunrise no Still, we all know sun never rises. Sun never sets. Sun is just shining. So, kannal kanvadum poye, kadal ketvadum poye, thira visaripade me. In Tamil, there is a proverb. Whatever you see through your eyes is all false. Whatever you hear through your ears also is not perfect. Whatever you inquire, எப்பொருள் யார் யார்வாய் கேட்பினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பதறிவு. Third verses. When you inquire and find out the truth, that is the truth. So therefore, Advaita Vedanta is, first of all, this idea that I have become a Jiva, and then there is a world in which I am suffering, and then the Ishvara is controlling everything. Then if I do sadhana, my mind gets purified. And then I practice concentration, meditation. Then it becomes unified. And then slowly I transcend the mind. And then I become Brahman the self. No! Then you have never ever become a Jiva. Never ever the world appeared. Never ever there is samsara. Never ever there is a sadhaka who is seeking. Never ever there is moksha, because never ever there was bondage. This realization is Advaita. So always it has been like that. In between what happened? Never mind. But always it has been like that. But in between, why did I see the ghost? Please tell me. You only saw. Why are you asking me? You should tell me, why did you see the ghost? When there was no ghost, why did you see the ghost in the first place? You are asking me, why did I see the ghost? I am asking you, why did you see the ghost? You get my point? What? You are nodding your head. You got my point? When the student asks, then why I was seeing a world, why I was suffering, I am asking you, why did you see a world? Why were you suffering? You should tell me now. Because there was never ever a world. This is very fascinating to hear. But this is the real stuff actually. So therefore, when you compare the self with the space, you get so much of ideas about the self. So the first example of the same sun or moon reflected in the different water bodies. That also is very insightful. The different jivas and all is a myth. It's just one thing only. And here, the self was never ever divided into Jivatma and Paramatma. And so there is no question of Jivatma becoming Paramatma. See, some people think this Tattvamasi Mahavakya or Jiva Brahma Aikya Bodha means Jiva is there, Brahma is there, Aikya Bodha, that knowledge which brings these two together and then one. No. Realize that this Jiva itself is Brahma. There is nothing else. This is Jiva Brahma Aikya Bodha. Having understood this much, we shall move on. Another thought is taken up now. Why this samsara? Why this ignorance? What about the first vasana? Huh?
It's one verse. Jivatuyirayum paratuyirayum chetu andrakya.
That is not by Bhagavan. That is not by Bhagavan.
It's not by Bhagavan.
Not by Bhagavan. That is by one of the devotees who just visited Bhagavan. And everybody chants that in Gamanashram. It's all fine. Please.
I understand. But just one point of that is there.
Yeah, that is there. I also get always, little uncomfortable when I chant. But it is all from Bhakta's heart. How can you say it is wrong? Yeah, you are right. Shabdhamaya vruto naiva tamasa yati pushkare bhinne tamasi chaikatvam eka evanu Shabdhamaya vruto naiva tamasa yati pushkare bhinne tamasi chaikatvam eka evanu pashyati. Na eva yati pushkare. Pushkare means this space. This space means here it is referred to the self. This Chidakasha. See? Here we should understand. Here the pushkare means in this space. This space. Meaning the self. Na eva yati is not understood or is not realized because why? Tamasa. Due to ignorance. Not only that, Shabdamaya avritaha. It is enveloped by Shabdamaya. Shabdajalam maharanyam chitta brahmanakaran. Shabdamaya means what? See, already we are confused so much about this world, about our existence here, why we are suffering. All those stuff. And what is the actual purpose of this life? We don't know. When we go to the scriptures, when we go to a religious way of living, or when we go to satsangs, I tell you, there are so many schools of thoughts, so many different philosophies. Shaivam, Vaishnavam, and then Veera Shaivam, and then they say so many things. So many, innumerable. And not only that, there are different sampradayas advocating different sort of sadhanas. When this Swami comes, he says only Atma Vichara. And some other Swami comes, he says only Nama Sankirtana will take you. And some other Swami comes, he says no Japa, Dhyana you should do. We get very confused. And there are so many schools of thoughts and so many interpretations by different acharyas. Even in one sampradaya, different masters interpret in a different way. See, one of our Swami, who actually molded me and guided me when I was very young, he used to tell me, he was a great scholar and a great tapasvi. He used to tell me, Beta, when you study Shankaracharya, it's wonderful. Like, for example, Dakshinamurti Sutram, Shankaracharya has written now. And Sureshwaracharya has given a commentary, Manas Ullasa. If you read Sureshwaracharya, he says, he is little different. What? Yes. When you read Gaudavaracharya, that is little different from Shankara's. What? I was so young. Already, we were so baffled with so many thoughts and ideas, different schools of thoughts. Even in the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta Shastra, different acharyas interpret slightly in a different way. Slightly. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. It should happen that way only. You know why? Whenever that inexpressible or beyond words and thoughts, when it comes through the mind, through the upadhi, it gets twisted and tweaked. It will be a little different. It cannot be the same. But that is enough to confuse us. Already we are confused. And this Shabda Maya Amritha coming forward, this Shabda, different scriptures and different schools of thoughts, different interpretations, they confuse us totally. What to be done? When I came to Sri Yoga Swamigal, he said in Nachindane, Satirappe Tadavi Kollade. Don't hug this ghost called a Satram, this philosophy. He said, I was so relieved. Thank you so much. Because when you come out of the Vedanta course and all, you are fresh and you have read so much, discussed so much, analyzed so much, and you are so worried and confused. Which is right? And he said, now just forget about all these philosophies. And even Bhagavan said the same. Do not worry about any philosophy because it is beyond thoughts. Anyway, it is beyond thought. Go beyond thought. That's it. Yena kena prakare. Whatever may be the technique, go beyond thought and you yourself find out what it is. All these philosophies are within the field of thoughts only. No? But truth is beyond thoughts. So how can these thoughts capture the truth? It can never. Therefore, why to fight unnecessarily? That's why Ramakrishna says, there were few blind fellows. They approached a big elephant and they were trying to understand what is elephant. This is what we also do. So one of the blind fellow went to the legs and he just, felt. And then he said, oh, it's like a pillar. So elephant means it's a big pillar, he concluded. And another fellow went to the tail. And then he said, oh, it's a rope. So, elephant means what? It is like a snake. It is like a rope. Another fellow went to the ears. And he said, it's moram madri irke, perusa irke. Salikira moram. What they say in English? Whatever it is. So, every fellow was saying something else. And some fellow tried to hug. It was so huge. He said, it's like a parangal mud. It's like a rock. But actually, elephant is something else. So similarly, howsoever you try to understand through a thought process, it can help you to some extent, but all the thoughts should be dropped. When you drop all the thoughts, there is nothing else to know. And what about the self? Self you can never know. Then, சும்மா இரு. நாங்கள் ஏற்கனவே சும்மாதானே இருந்தோம். நீங்க தானே கிளப்பி விட்டீங்க. நீ பிரம்மனை உணரணுமாக்கும். You have to realize this Brahman. You are in samsara. You are caught up. You are bound. Now you have to realize. You only said. We didn't ask you. நாங்க சும்மா தான் இருந்தோம். நாங்க வாட எங்க பொழப்ப பார்த்துட்டு சாப்பிட்டு தூங்கி சந்தோஷமா இருந்தோம். You came and you said, no. You should not be like this. Then you say, Chuma iru. So meaning, this is beyond thought. There is nothing to know here. When we focus our attention on the self, whatever you understand about the self, and remain there, whatever has to happen will happen. So please take this point. Whatever you understand about yourself, you focus attention on yourself exclusively. And whatever has to happen will happen. And that is very auspicious. You will never regret. Because at the end of the day, it is the intent that is important. It is not actual process. Success is sure for the sincere, Gurudev says. Success is sure for the sincere. So therefore, Shabdamaya Avritaha. Na eva yati pushkare tamasa. Tamasa means ignorance. Already this ignorance has veiled this Atma, the self. Because of that, the mind is projecting so many wonderful things. Vikshepa, so many wonderful things. And to add to that, the Shastras also talk differently about this Brahman. And different acharyas interpret in a different way. And this seeker is totally confounded. Shabdamaya Avrita. That is why Shankara says, Shabdayalam Maharanyam. It is like a deep, dense forest. When you get into it, you get lost. So therefore, by Guru's grace, we should not too much get into this scholarly, hair-splitting argumentation, discussion, all those stuff. Once when you understand a little bit, and if you are sincere, you have to look within and try to dive deep within. Otherwise, we get lost. This is one meaning. The second meaning, what is this Jagat? It is Nama Rupa Jagat. It is always called as Nama Rupa Jagat. Rupa means a form. Today morning what we saw? This Ahankar, it eats form. And it thrives only by eating forms. Before giving up one form, it has already caught another form. Urupatri undagum. We saw that today morning. Urupatri undu miga ovungum. Uruvittu urupatrum. Thedinal ottam pudikkum. Uruvatra peyahandai vor. So this ahandai or this ahankara, which is nothing but identifying with the body mind, which is because of ignorance, that thrives because of these forms. Therefore, form and each forms are differentiated between themselves by a name. If you don't give a name, how can you differentiate between forms? The laddu or konduva. When you say laddu, a name is given to that wonderful sweet. Just you go straight and you bring that laddu. If there is no name, how will you express? So if you don't call names to Paramatma, then you are realized. Or Acharya's famous statement. We are in samsara because we call names to Paramatma. He says, if you call name to your friend or to somebody junior, it is all accepted. If you call names to Paramatma, there is only Paramatma, but we call names, seeing different forms to distinguish between themselves. See, this distinguishing is the problem, na? Differentiating. So differentiating is not a problem. To give reality to that differences. So therefore, this world is nothing but Nama only. That is why Udukki Adichar, Shiva Ramana. You know that Shiva, Lord Nataraja, how he created this world? Through his Dhamaru. Udukkai. What is the meaning of it is created from sound? Because all the names, if you go through it, it is all just but nothing but sound symbol. And all the sound symbol can be encompassed into Auma. This is wonderful. So therefore, this Brahman, which appears as different forms, is called by various names. And because of that, the world is created. And then this name, it confuses. So therefore, this Atma, the self, the Brahman, is covered by Shabdamaya. It's a deep thought. You have to think about it still further. So therefore, this Pushkare, this self, is not realized. Then what to be done? Bhinne tamasi. Sure. When this tamas, this ignorance is destroyed, when that is destroyed, bhinne means when that is destroyed, when that wheeling power is taken away, then what happens? Ekatvam eka eva anupashyate. Ekatvam eka eva anupashyate. Ekatvam means the vision of oneness. Ekatvam eva anupashyate, and is one without a second. Ekam, one without a second. Eva anupashyate, the anupashyati, that alone is seen. So when this tamas is destroyed through proper knowledge, tamas can be destroyed only, the ignorance can be destroyed only through knowledge. See, here Guruji says, ignorance is not an individual, independent entity. It is always ignorance of something. So how the ignorance can be removed? Only through the right knowledge of that same thing. So now the ignorance of the self, that can be removed by the knowledge of the self. Therefore, any amount of karma or any amount of any sort of a sadhana cannot remove it. Only through the right knowledge, the ignorance is removed. When that is removed, what is seen? Ekatvam, ekameva anupashyate. That one without the second. That one without the second is expressing as everything. That vision of oneness, that is anupashyati. That is comprehended. See, there are a lot of discussion about this in our Vedanta Shastra. Some say, when the Guru is expounding or giving this knowledge, same instant this knowledge should happen. Then only it is knowledge. If he is a real Uttama Adhikari, the knowledge should just click. It is only clicking, nothing else. It should happen instantaneously. Then it is real knowledge. But for Mandha Adhikaris, so a lot of discussion and contemplation, all those things are suggested. And for Adhama Adhikari, Adhamo Adhama Adhikari, then pranayama, yes. All those stuff. Hatha yoga also is prescribed. Why? Because the mind is so turbulent, it is uncontrollable. First of all, you have to bring it to some stability. No? So pranayama helps. Then only you can understand even scriptures. When the mind is very turbulent, agitated, how can you understand what the Guru is talking? That is why Shanti Pata is chanted. Why? To quieten the mind. So therefore, when this tamas is removed through the right knowledge, when the Guru says, you are that, tak, it should hit, and the knowledge should happen. What that? Eka eva anupashyati. So he comprehends the self as one without the second. Moving on further. Shabdaksharam param brahma tasmin kshine yadaksharam
तस्मिन् क्षीणे यदक्षरम्
तद्विद्वानक्षरं ध्यायेत्
तद्विद्वानक्षरं ध्यायेत्
यदि चेच्चान्तिमात्मनः
यदि चेच्छान्तिमात्मनः
शब्दाक्षरं परं ब्रह्म
सदाक्षरं परं ब्रह्म
तस्मिन् क्षीणे यदक्षरम्
तस्मिन् क्षीणे यदक्षरम्
तद्विद्वानक्षरं ध्यायेत्
तद्विद्वानक्षरं ध्यायेत्
यदि चेच्चान्तिमात्मनः.
यदि चेच्छान्तिमात्मनः.
So actually, this samsara is why? Because of Shabdamaya Amritha. Because of the Shabdamaya. Because calling names. Because of the sound, creating sound. Shabdamaya. Because of that Shabdamaya, this samsara has happened. How to remove it? Through Shabda Brahma. See? What is the remedy? Once again, another sound symbol is given. Yeah, mulla edukra mari. If the water is impure, you put another dirt called the alum. Already the water means there is dirt in the water. That's why you say it is polluted. How to purify it? You put another dirt called the alum. So that alum goes and then it settles down the dirt and it also settles down. Similarly, because of this Shabdamaya only this truth is covered. Avrataha. And that is because of the ignorance. How to go beyond this ignorance? Take the help of the Sabda Brahman. What is Shabda Brahman? Om. Shabda Aksharam. Shabda Aksharam Param Brahma. We saw na in the verse 7. Yeah. So Shabda Aksharam Param Brahma. This Sabda Aksharam, which is Om, is Param Brahma. Is a symbol for the Supreme Brahman. It represents Supreme Brahman. When your name is called, you just turn back and you ask, yes. Similarly, when you chant Om, Lord turns back and asks, yes. Because it is his name. Yada Shabdaksharam Param Brahma. Tasmin Kshine Yadaksharam. When that disappears, then you revel in that Aksharam. Yes. You say Shabda Aksharam, but still this Matra becomes Amatra Om. That's what we saw, na? Keep the mind first on the sound of that Om. And then when slowly it disappears, then on that silence. So that is called as Amatra Om. So here it says, Tasmin Kshine. That Shabda Brahman, that's a Shabda Aksharam, is Om, and slowly it disappears into silence. That is the place where we can catch or realize this self or the truth. So Yad Aksharam, that is Aksharam. So therefore, Tad Vidwan Aksharam Dhyaye. Yad Iche Shanti Matmana. If he desires for the total peace within, Shanti Matmana, what he should do? Tad Vidwan. That Vidwan, that Pandita or that intelligent one, Aksharam Dhyaye. He has to meditate on that Aksharam. What is that Aksharam? Oh. So this comes again and again in Kathopanishad. Etadalambanam Shreshtam, Etadalambanam Param. It comes in Mundaka Upanishad also. See, whole of the last year we have been taking Upanishads. Like 6-7 Upanishads we took. So everywhere this Upasana is given of Om. It means it's a real thing actually, and all the rishis have agreed. Unanimously they have agreed that this is a supreme alambana. Alambana means support given for meditation. So this Pranava Upasana. But some traditional Mahatmas say Grihastha should not do this. We sannyasi should do and all. It is there, means the traditional thought is like that. Because when a Grihastha, if he starts this Om Pranava Upasana, probably he may lose interest, maybe. this what or vyavahara, whatever, I don't know what. That's why they caution. But for a sincere seeker, this pranava is wonderful. Because when you meditate on that om, that sound, you get everything of this world. And when you keep your mind on that amatra om, that silence, then you realize the self also. So it can give you everything of this world, of the other world also. But unfortunately, you cannot have both the worlds. Best of both the worlds.
India and Australia.
Best of both the worlds, meaning we want to eat good food, have a wonderful life, and then plus we also want realization. See, I remember one anecdote. When Gurudev was traveling in a western country somewhere, when he got down from the flight and he was entering, his flowing beard and everything, it indicated he was a great sort of a Mahatma or sort of a great person. So, a foreigner, a westerner, he was just having a girlfriend and also a wine in one of his hands. He was like, "Oh Swami, good, I met you today. Please tell me what is realization." Then Gurudev said, "Undress and hug." Oh. He got so distinct shocked. What? Undress and hug? What is he talking? It means undress yourself. Body, mind, and intellect. And hug means what? Why? That's what he meant. That fellow got so shocked. Still shocked. So, when this Brahman, when this Aksharam, when you meditate on that Om, that sound symbol, it's Mangaladata. And when you meditate on that silence, it is Mukti-dhata, Jnana-dhata. It's everything. But if you want Paramatma and Paramatma alone, you should not seek anything of this world. Because when you seek anything of this world, it means you have got desire and your mind is extrovert and all. Then if you seek the self also, it becomes contradictory. Whatever comes as your prarabdha, accept it as prasad. Nothing wrong in it. But don't run after anything, wasting your time and energy. And just to maintain some standard or some social status or something, running. Guruji beautifully puts it. Even though you win the rat race, still you remain a rat. Even though you win the rat race, still remain a rat only. So therefore, we can accept whatever comes as prasada from the Lord. But if you are a sadhaka, you should not run after. Enough. Alambhava. Enough. I have seen, you have seen enough. Experienced enough. Now enough. Now I want this supreme, which is the most wonderful thing.
Alam muncha.
So tad vidwan dhyayet yad icha shanti matmana. Shanti matmana. When he desires, yadi ichet shanti matmana. Yadi ichet shanti matmana. When he desires this atma, the self, or this peace of the atma, the self, then tad vidwan aksharam dhyayet. Let him meditate on this Om, this pranava. So I tell you, first you have to chant it very loudly. Take a nice good breath and chant it loudly. So therefore you cannot chant within your house. Because your wife may not like, or your husband may not like. They say they are disturbed. So we have to go to a sort of a secluded place. Whenever you go to a secluded place, at least you try this. Just sit somewhere and don't worry about any sadhana or anything. Just chant Om. உயிரை எழுப்பி பிரணவத்தை ஓதன்னு சொல்லுவார் யோகர். உயிரை எழுப்புன்னு சொல்லுவார். With all your heart, you chant Om. and chant, go on chanting. Don't worry about numbers or time. I tell you, it will have a great effect on your system. That vibration, you will lose your body consciousness. And your mind becomes blank. But goes everything. This home has got a great power actually. See, this Mahatmas have experimented and they have given us. It's not just out of the blue they have given you. This home is so good. This Pranava Upasana, a very potent one. See, one more thing about Japa Sadhana. Gurudev writes in this Japa Gayatri, in the small book, he says, the mantra becomes shorter and shorter. It becomes more and more potent, he says. I don't know why he says. I do not know about Mantra Shastra much. Gayatri Mantra is there, don't worry. All the mantras are sacred. But Gurudev says somehow in that book, the shorter the mantra becomes, more potent it becomes.
It gives more concentration. It gives much more concentration.
Much more concentration, correct. So he says, Om is the best mantra. He says, Om, just take Om, and it can really take you off. So, this Maya is because of the Shabda Maya. This Avarana, this feeling is because of the Shabda Maya, out of ignorance. And that can be removed through Shabda Brahma, through the chanting of Om. So when you chant Om, all these confusions are destroyed. All these ignorance is destroyed. And you abide in your own self. Okay, with this we will conclude today's class. It is 8:50. There is 10 more minutes. Why I am going to conclude this? Because in the next verse, a new thought is developed. So we don't want to get into it today. Tomorrow we shall see. So now, 10 more minutes there. So you should not later complain. This Swamiji was just talking, one-way traffic. So he was not allowing us to talk. He was not allowing us to ask questions. You should not complain later. So now there are 10-15 minutes. So you can ask some questions if you want. There are any doubts? And I tell you, I confess to you, I do not know everything, definitely. We have learned something from our gurus and we have been contemplating about certain things. So whatever is our little understanding, we can share. If it can help you, it will be nice. See, why I give this disclaimer always? Because people start asking me very different questions. Like they ask about some Karma Kanda question or some Jyotisha Shastra or something which I don't know really. Then they say, Nina Swami Baba, I don't know really. And sometimes they ask about Kundalini. I don't know about Kundalini. What can I do? Yes.